Hey there, Tiger fans. Ben Arnett inside the Mizzou Network studio. On Thursday afternoon, we got a chance to sit down with Tiger basketball coach Frank Haith. Of course, the recent basketball season now in the rearview mirror after a 23-win campaign and a second-round loss in the NIT. We discussed the recent season and the future of the program, along with much more in depth with Coach Haith.
Well, we've got to get better defensively, Ben. I think I was disappointed how we defended this past year. I think this team has potential to be a really good defensive team, and I think it'll help that we'll have more depth next year. I thought our team offensively, we weren't consistent with sharing the ball. I think we'll be better at that next year as we continue to finish up recruiting. Losing Jordan and Jabari, maybe Jabari, but definitely Jordan. We've got to make sure we fit the right pieces in there to help us continue to grow in that area.
You talk about Jordan and Jabari. What's kind of your reaction to the decisions they've made and the process that they'll both go through now leading up to the draft and potentially coming back, potentially staying in the draft pool and all that?
Well, obviously Jordan is staying in the draft, and I think both those guys, I spent a lot of time with them, Ben, and talking about their decisions, and I think both those guys are making family decisions. They're making educated decisions. I applaud Jabari that he wants some more information before he goes all in. Those guys, did I think they were going to be, in the draft this year at the beginning of the year? No, I did not. But it's one of the things that I'm happy for those guys. As a program, we've got to continue to move forward.
There are going to be new faces again next year. When you look at how to integrate those new guys, given what you've learned the last couple of years, what are the musts this summer and early into next year to get some of those new faces into the flow and get the most out of them and the best play out of them and everybody else as quickly as possible?
Well, we've got to do a great job of, this summer, because the NCAA allow us to have opportunities with our guys. We've got to do a great job developing. We got to have guys get better in our program. Jonathan Williams III, Ryan Rosberg, Keanu Post, Torrin, Wes Clark, Shane. Those guys all got to get better. So we got to have extensive work out of those guys. And then these young kids we're bringing in, Naaman Wright and Keenan Gant. Both those guys are impact players. We need those guys coming in here ready to go and ready to develop and ready to get better.
Cam Bescheid. Some people have gotten a look at him. I'm one of the lucky people that's gotten a chance to see him and talk to him. Without putting too much pressure on a kid who's from St. Louis, can he solve a lot of problems, not only scoring the basketball, but this is a guy a lot of our fans know. He's from the state of Missouri. He's got name recognition. He was the player of the year in the state just a couple of years ago. Can he be a real big part of this team next year on a lot of levels?
Yeah, he absolutely can be, and he absolutely has to be. Cam can score the ball. He's a very talented young man. He can really shoot it, but his biggest attribute is he can score the ball, and we're going to need him to score. We're losing a lot of scoring, so there's no question we need him to be a guy that can put the ball in the hole for us.
And is he a guy that fans can latch on to also? Yeah,
absolutely. He's a local, St. Louis, a Missouri guy. So and we want to get back to recruiting the in-state, and he's a big part of that. When I first got here, I really tried to recruit him, and he was already going to Notre Dame. So it's good for us to get him back here, and as it helps us recruit more in-state kids.
Big picture as you go into your fourth year in the program, where are your areas of emphasis? How do you feel overall?
I feel good, Ben. I think, obviously we're going to be a young team. We're going to have I think on paper when people look at our team and they're going to look at it thinking look at it being a rebuilding year. I don't want our guys to look at it that way. I want us to get our team ready to understand we want to compete for SEC championships. We want to compete for, postseason play, and I think that's a mindset, and we got to get these guys ready to do that.